So I'm sitting here with Brenda Gonzalez. You are a rookie real estate agent, right?
Right.
Okay. What made you decide to go into real estate?
So I started off in the construction side. I started out flipping homes. I buy homes that are not very pretty, very nice. Buy them for a cheaper price. We remodel them and we flip them for a profit. And I decided to become a real estate agent for that. And currently, I am seeing a lot of new home buyers, first-time home buyers, and that's what I'm helping out.
Okay. Okay. Um, I tried to flip a home once and I sucked at it. It was bad. I think I bought it too much. I didn't know how to manage the contractors. Um, what have you seen like in your real estate experience and home flipping?
Same thing. Same thing. And even then, I have my husband's a contractor, so I have the contracting part kind of fixed there, but you always find things crazy in flipping. For example, sometimes there's things that you don't see off the top of the head, like behind the walls, there's electrical, there's plumbing, there's extra costs that always come to it. So the numbers need to make sense, but a lot of the times, even then, when the numbers make sense, surprises happen and there's more things that you need to put into it.
What are the numbers?
The numbers would be how much you're getting the house for, how much you're paying closing costs, down payment, and how much you're looking to get for repairs. So most of the time we suggest, if you're planning on flipping, find a contractor who can give you some quotes for repairing, and then at the end of the day, find out how much the house is going to be worth once it's all repaired.
Okay, so let's say you're buying a house that's worth 300,000 and repaired, fully upgraded, beautiful, and it's going to cost you 60,000 to fix it. What amount do you buy it for?
So usually what I go off of is what the sales price is, minus the repairs, minus the closing cost. So that's when I suggest to get a realtor. Then we do a 70% of whatever's left from there, because we do use, for example, I use hard money lenders and they won't go above 70% on there.
What's a hard money lender?
If you can go lower than that, it's better than that. Hard money lenders lend you based on the value of the house after repairs and not on your credit, your income, all that, just based on the property itself.
Gotcha. How much money have you made flipping houses?
Most I've made has been close to 100. That's the most I've made, but the least I've made has been like 15.
15.
So
have you ever lost money?
No, thankfully, for now.
That's good.
Yes, for now I have not, but
why the big difference? Like what made the 100,000 house special, and then why did you only make 15,000 on the other one?
Quite frankly, it was the market change. The market changed and it bumped up the price after repair value, and that's what helped us get the 100. For the most part.
So, sorry, was this during COVID?
It's a little bit after COVID.
Okay, gotcha.
It was a little bit after COVID. For the most part, 30, 40, 50,000, it's a pretty good, decent amount that I can say it's a profit for the.
So is it harder now or is it easier now to flip?
It is not harder. It's easy to get the properties, because there is a lot of properties that are vacant, that are distressed here in El Paso. Now for the sales part, depending on what we're looking at. If we're looking at higher prices, 300, 250 sales price, then we're competing still with new homes. So it just depends on what the buyers are looking for. There's some buyers that don't like new construction. So if you buy a flipped home that's 250, I mean, you're getting a better deal if you don't like brand new construction.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know if you want a big yard, yeah, you don't want to get new construction.
You don't want to get new construction. Yeah, and a lot of people like block brick, so that's not where you're not going to go new construction with a block brick home. So, but you do get a remodeled, almost looking new home.
That's true.
With a bigger yard.
That's true.
And a bigger lot.
How do you find your houses that you flip?
So most of my houses I've found through realtors. I have realtor friends who help me find homes, door knocking, and just driving around. Whenever you see a distressed home, finding the seller, finding the owner, and be like, why is your house vacant? Why is your house looking so ugly today? Like,
like overgrown weeds?
Overgrown weeds, when there's no trash bins. Usually there's nobody living there. Distressed roofs. I'm a roofing girl, so you drive around and I look at roofs and I can tell you if a roof is, old. You can see the little shimmers on there. That's not a pretty roof. That's an old roof.
Okay.
So if the roofs are old, sometimes broken windows, chipped paint outside, things like that, usually means that the house is vacant or it's just distressed. They're not taking care of it.
Okay. Cool. What's more fun?
Both. I think I love flipping. It's like my passion. I like seeing a house very ugly and seeing it completely remodeled.
Okay.
And I also love seeing new homeowners go into the home and fall in love with the house. And so both things to me have been really good. First-time home buyers, even if it's not, one of my flips, but them walking into a new construction home, falling in love and saying, this is where we want to start. Both things make me happy.
Do you ever claim that? Like, oh yeah, I flipped this house. Like I did that work?
I do.
Or
I do.
Yeah.
Most of the times I do because I'm pretty proud of the way it looks before. I don't like to show the way it looks before to potential buyers just because they're going to be like, oh, never mind. I don't want to buy it after I see how it used to look. But I do like to say I flipped that home because it's a very big difference.
Do you watch like HGTV? Where do you get your ideas?
I used to watch HGTV a lot. But El Paso market and El Paso design is completely different from
what's different?
Everything. Everything, the pricing, what they're looking for. We usually go based off of quality, but not very expensive, and just making it look nice and decent for new clients.
Gotcha. Good stuff. Yeah, I've tried to flip. The hardest part that I struggle with is finding the house, the distressed property. And then, of course, just negotiating with the buyer. But it's finding that house. I think once you actually buy it, it's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier. Yeah, I think buying the house, a lot of the times, these distressed or vacant homes are for families. And a lot of them don't want to sell it for very low amounts. But I mean, it's not really worth that much money.
Why would someone sell it for such a low amount?
The way I put it is if you leave it there, it's going to get worse. So the worse that the house gets, the least it's going to be worth. So why lose money on there? I understand a lot of times there's sentimental value, it was your grandmother's, it was your mother's. But for example, I've seen some that if you're living out of Dallas or, North Carolina, and the house is here in El Paso, you're not putting any good use to it, you're not renting it, you're not selling it, it's just sitting there. I mean, not because nobody's living in it means it's not going to get distressed or it's not going to get hurt. I mean, the weather here is crazy sometimes. The weeds, like you mentioned, they grow pretty high. You do get notices from the city where they're going to fine you for not cutting them. So all these kinds of things, the weather, just everything makes the homes lose value. So why have a home just sitting there when you can make a little bit of money out of it?
That makes sense. Do sellers pay closing costs when they sell you a home that cheap?
No. So usually what I suggest is that they don't pay the closing cost. Whatever I'm offering them, that's what it's going to be. And from there, we take on for everything.
So you cover all the title costs. What about the taxes? Do they pay their own taxes or do you pay those?
Depends, because sometimes a lot of those houses have backed up taxes that they have not paid. So depending on that, we can go ahead and negotiate the price.
Got it. Good stuff. Yeah. All right, everyone. So if you stuck around this long, we appreciate you listening to us. We're trying to grow our social media presence, so please give us a like, give us a follow. If you have any questions about El Paso, about the real estate market, comment below or send us a DM, and we'll be glad to get back to y'all. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.